Hey guys, Josh and Chris here with a new segment we're going to start doing every week. We want to kind of give you an idea of what we've been reading, what we picked up for the next week, and kind of where you can find us. We've hit the summer season, and so that means we're doing a lot of shows and conventions. We got some exciting news about one last night. We'll let you know about that one later on. But first, we kind of wanted to share a couple of books that we've been reading. We've got one that I read, one that Josh read, and then one that we read kind of together. And actually, the one that Josh is going to do, I actually read that one too. So I may have some input on that one as well. So, Josh, you want to start us off and tell us what you read this week?
Yeah, Chris, it feels great to get back to our roots and talk about the comics. We hadn't done that in a long time, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's been a
Um,
while.
I want to share something with you guys. Something new, something different, something epic. My book is called Something Epic, and it is written and illustrated by Seisman Kudransky. And I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not, but it's one of the greatest new books I've seen lately, and it really drug me in when I was reading it this afternoon. The artwork is amazing. The story is interesting. It's a very wordy book. If you're a reader and deep into thought, there's a lot of thought going on in this book.
Yeah, there were a
Um,
lot of words in there.
yeah, and the way he uses the words, like it's not just your typical bubbles in the book. You get words all over the page. I mean, there's a full page spread in here where the words are just all over and these characters are here. And Chris, the whole premise of the book is that this kid that you're introduced to is an epic, and he sees the imagination world, and all the things from our imagination are real and in our world, and he can see it.
But not everybody can see them. He can
Yes.
see them. You see them wandering around, and that's part of that centerfold. You see
Yes.
just tons of different characters running around, and it was really a good start for a good book. I know I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next one.
And I tell you, some of the things that stuck out to me, Chris, is like he buys books, and when he buys the books, the faces of the characters are on the books and they're talking to him. Like he has a copy of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein is speaking to him. He has Mario Puzo's The Godfather, and the Godfather face is there talking to him. He even bought like a copy of the Bible, and I'm assuming that's supposed to be God on the cover, quoting scripture in the book.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they talk to him like all night when
Yeah.
he's in his room and stuff. He can hear them talking.
And for me, there was like one really big standout moment in the book, Chris, and it really hit on why we enjoy reading comics. And it's towards the end, and his mom is taking him to school. And he goes, "Can we at least go to the comic book store after school?" And she goes, "Don't you read them on a tablet?" He says, "I do, but there's something different about the real thing. The feel, the way, the light falls on them. When I read a comic book, a real comic book, it's like it's part of me, more than images on paper, more like," and his mom goes, "like an extension of your hands." And I don't know about you, but that kind of hits on the feeling I get from the stories when I read them. I become part of the story, and I really enjoy it. And this Seisman really got my attention with this book. It really drug me into the story. I can't wait to read more of it.
Right, and Josh, tell them about too. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen it. The actual story goes all the way onto the back cover of the
Yes.
comic, which is crazy ridiculous. I've never
Yes.
seen anything like it.
Yeah, there's no ad. The last page of the comic is the back
The
cover.
actual comic,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was really neat. Yeah, I agree. I mean, holding a comic in your hand is something that's really cool, and that's why I love collecting and reading that way because it's just there's something so much better. I mean, you can see those beautiful pictures online, but to actually see them on paper and see them in front of you, just imagine like trying to look at the new Superman
Yeah.
comic that Jamal Scott is, or Jamal Campbell
Jamal Campbell
is doing
yes.
an amazing job on the artwork. It really is great. Imagine trying to look at that on a tablet, and it's so much different there than what you have holding in your hand. So I think that's really great. Um, so yeah, check out something epic. I think Josh, there so far we know looking at League of Comic Geeks. which is a great app for any comic collector in order to see what's coming out that week, what you have on your pull list, and you can also see how long the series is running. And I think I've seen four of those so
Yeah, at
far.
least four right now that we know of. They're not that far ahead with the
Right.
books coming out, but I think this is going to be an ongoing, and if it continues as strong as it started, it'll be a great book.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's going to do really well, and that's put out by Image Comics,
Yes.
and Image is doing some really great stuff. Um, my pick for the week, and I picked this up. Actually, I didn't get it this week. I got it about 2 weeks ago. Was the Batman: The Brave and the Bold? I heard this series was coming out, excuse me, and I really wanted to check it out and see, what it was going to be. I'm a sucker for Batman stories. Um, One of the things that kind of scared me though was the very first story in there is Tom King, and I'm like, oh no, Tom King's writing Batman again.
Yes.
Not that Tom King's not a great writer, but he had it for so long, and I mean, what new can he bring to the story? Well, he does bring something new to the story. The first story in there is this beautiful, beautiful story about basically the first time Batman ever interacts with the Joker. So you get to see the Joker in full form. There's some brilliant artwork in there. There's this beautiful picture of him sitting on a park bench, the Joker, with this little girl, and it's raining at the time, and the artwork is amazing. And I won't spoil the story for you because it didn't end. It is a continuation into the next one. So I can't wait to pick that one up. Then he had three other stories in there. One was kind of with the Batman family and a team that's fighting against some bad guys. And check that one out. That was really good. It was good. It didn't really stand out to me, but there is a Superman story in there that is really good. I really enjoyed it. It kind of ties into an old friend of Clark's that he had when he was in school. And somehow or another, she re-emerges or something, and he gets a letter from her, and he knows it can only be from her. So it's kind of a mystery. So Clark is or Superman's going to solve this mystery, and again, this one didn't end either. It's carrying on into the next book, but when you get to the very end of the book, there is a black and white Batman story, and this is not like any Batman story I've ever read. It's possibly, and I think it is an Otherworld story or Elseworld story, and you get to see Batman rescue these two kids, and they start telling him his name, and one of them's name is Jason, and one of them's name is Dick, and so there's your Robins right there,
Yep.
and they're talking about another kid named Tim. So you know, so really three great stories in there. Four actually. Let's not discredit the other one. I would say it didn't stick out as much, but it was still a good story. Um, but again, just a great book. A little bit more on the pricey side. It's $8, but you're basically getting four comics each time you buy it.
It's an anthology, and
It's an
anthologies are
anthology,
good.
and they're great. If you can see in the picture there, I got the cover I picked on that one. Was of course the Batman cover. They did a Superman cover. Then there's a normal Brave and the Bold cover, but I was really intrigued with the Batman cover, so I went with that one. Now, moving on to the book that we both read. Everybody knows, and if you don't know, spoilers, that the Justice League no longer exists. They have disbanded. There is no more Justice League. And at the end of Dark Crisis, um, I guess it was Superman handed Nightwing the reins and said,
Yes.
"You're now running the Justice League, and you can be whatever you want to be." So, what better thing to do than to put the Titans back together? And so, Tom Taylor, who is a tremendous writer, is started writing, which it was natural for him to come right on over from Nightwing, which he is still writing. And Nightwing is a great book. If you haven't read it, check it out. So he started writing Titans. And so issue number one came out last week. And what a bang up job.
Yes.
What,
It
give
was
us your thoughts,
a
Josh.
amazing story, Chris. It's really the intro, which I know Tom Taylor has been bringing the Titans in slowly over in Nightwing. He's been putting the team back together. but this is their official first appearance as a team. They come together. They go. We see Nightwing going to gather people. You've got they go to get Tempest, Garth, and he says, "Yeah, y'all deal with the land, deal with your 29% of the earth. I'm dealing with the oceans." Yeah. And I'm interested to see where that goes.
Are we gonna? Well, I mean, is it gonna be a parallel story, or are we gonna get? Is he gonna get his own comic? Who knows what's gonna go?
Maybe we get a Tempest comic. Maybe after the events of this issue, maybe they convince him to come and be that other member of the team, because by the end of the book, we're down a team member.
Yeah, and we're not going to spoil that.
Spoilers, but it was pretty heart wrenching.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
Yeah,
that they wiped out one of the team members, and I didn't see that one coming. There tends to be a lot of that going on in comics right now.
Yes,
they tend to be wiping people out left and right.
But we know in comics it always doesn't last. They come back.
And the only person who can really die is Bucky, and now that doesn't exist anymore either.
Yeah, they broke that rule. Broke that rule a long time ago.
So
thank you, Ed Brubaker.
Yeah, so some really great stuff there. Great book. Obviously, if you're into DC, you need to grab the Dawn of DC primer.
Yes.
It's kind of setting up. This I don't feel like this is a spoiler, but they're kind of setting up Amanda Waller to be the main bad guy for this run, and she sends her people out to deal with the situation. And her people being none other than Peacemaker, which Peacemaker's making like a big rush right now. We just got a Kyle Starks book. What is it? Peacemaker Tries Hard. It was a one shot.
No, it's a three. It's 3 issues. It's a Black Label.
It's a one shot. That's what Andy told me. It's a one shot.
Okay, I thought it was a 3 issue thing.
Nope, it's a one shot called Peacemaker Tries Hard. At least that's what Andy told me at the shop yesterday. But anyway, speaking of Andy, if you're in the New Bern area, Carolina Comics and More is a great comic shop. Andy's a great guy. If he doesn't have it, he will find it for you. How many times has he found stuff for us, Josh?
Oh, a lot, man, a lot. I'll mention something I want, and I'll come back the next week, and it'll be there.
Yeah. He'll just reach into our usual pull bag and go, "Hey, I found this," and I'm like, "Cool." He actually got me a copy of The Death of Superman right before we met Brett Breeding, yes. So I was able to get that signed, and it's in the black bag.
Okay, Chris, in Titans.
Bag of Titans.
Your favorite, I guess you call it a scene in the comic. I know what mine is. I'm interested to see if we have the same.
I've got to go in and look again. I read this one the other night.
Are you gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say?
I probably am, because if you will listen to me and watch me, and if you've seen any of my stuff, I am a huge King Kong fan. I love King Kong. It's my favorite monster outside of Freddy Krueger. But if you're going giant monsters, King Kong is my favorite. And it's probably the same one as yours, Josh. There's this huge monster battle where Gar pretty much goes gigantic and takes on the gorilla. So you kind of get that Godzilla versus Kong looking thing.
Yeah. Gar takes on a Tamaran monster that Starfire told him about. He said, "When am I ever going to get to use this again?"
Yeah.
So it was a really great moment. I tell you what else I loved about the book, Chris. The relationship they're building between Raven and Beast Boy. Beast Boy's been through some trauma since since Dark Crisis.
He got shot.
Yeah. And Raven is there for him, and their relationship in this book was really a heartfelt, touching moment in the story.
Guys, too, I'm kind of just looking through here. The art in here is great, too, by the way. Nicola Scott does some great artwork in here. I love the artwork. Art does a lot for me. If I start reading a book and the art is not that good, I'm usually not going to finish it. Peacemaker shows up, and, it's funny now, the Peacemaker in the comics, he looks like John Cena, so
he does.
I really can't see him.
Yeah.
But I'm looking.
We got a silver helmet and a red shirt, but other than that, we're not sure who's standing there.
I don't know. This scene is pretty daggone good right here, too.
The ending scene, which we won't reveal to you because that's just too much of a spoiler. If you haven't heard through the rumors online, or if you haven't read the book yet, pick it up and read it, because it's really a great book.
Pick up the book and read it. Yeah, it's been really good. Hey, so we that's our books we've done this week. In our spare time, we like to do a lot of video gaming. If I could show you around this room, you see Josh has got tons of video games too. And I do a lot of video gaming. I say I do a lot of video gaming, so you'll probably see me playing Fortnite most of the time when I have any spare time on my hands. So we have a sponsor called MagCon Gaming, who they make what are they
Controller grips.
control grips is what they are. And so check out this video we have of the control grips in action, and you can use the code that pops up there to actually get you some of these and get 10% off.
And they're great, Chris. They're magnetic, so your fingers don't slip off the triggers. And I got to tell you, they say use them for your first person shooter games a lot. But I got to tell you, last night or not last night, the night before last, I was in here and I finally broke open Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda.
Nice.
And I put my grips on my Switch, and they work just as well for that. There's a review coming for that one soon. I spent about 2 hours in here playing the other night, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice. And yeah, absolutely. And so check out this video, and we'll be right back with you.
Enjoy gaming but tired of gamer thumb? Then check out our sponsor, MagCon Gaming. Their patented magnetic silicone stick covers are a universal fit to all controllers. Whether you're playing on the PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, or even the Oculus, they fit all systems. Their anti-slip technology allows you to retain a better grip, and they give you enhanced accuracy and increased sensitivity for better gameplay. Check out their website, magcongaming.com, and be sure to use our code BrothersBoyd10 to save 10% on your purchase. If you're tired of losing or not competing with the best, try their product to gain that extra help you need. MagCon Gaming. No pain, just game. Chris, you want to show them what you picked up this week?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I'll see if I can get them up here. Hopefully, they'll show up in the camera.
We'll stick them in the front of the...
Okay.
We'll lay them across what we've read.
Yeah, so my first pickup was, and I decided to go ahead and go with these books because they're going to release issue 3 soon. I got the Edge of Spider-Verse #1 and #2. Edge of Spider-Verse 3 is coming out, and that's going to be the origin of Spider-Boy, which is the big deal in comics right now.
Is that the origin of Spider-Boy? When is Kid Venom coming?
Kid Venom will be coming in the Death of Spider-Verse. That's coming in Death of Venomverse, me, in a couple of months. I picked up, obviously, I've been reading Ram V's doing an outstanding job on Detective Comics. If you haven't read that, you should start that run right when Ram V takes over. It's this beautiful gothic type. It almost has this like Gotham by Gaslight to it, but it's set in modern times. There's a huge deal with the history of Gotham going on and who these people are. So that's been really fun to read. I've been reading. Alyssa Wong is doing a great job with this Dr. Aphra. As you can see, we're all the way up to issue number 32, I believe. Yeah, 32. And we got Luke Skywalker on the front.
That's a great cover, Chris.
Luke Skywalker has his new lightsaber, his temporary lightsaber. And then my last pickup, and I'm not going to open it because I don't want you guys to be spoiled. But I have the Amazing Spider-Man #26, and there's the death of a main character, not in Spider-Man, but an actual Marvel character. If you haven't seen already, I won't spoil it for you.
Unless you've been living under a rock and haven't seen the news lately, you already know who it is. And it's a shock. It's a surprise that they're doing that.
Right, and I'm really shocked. But like we said, nobody ever really dies in the comics.
So. Exactly, they always come back. So.
Josh, you want to show us what you picked up?
Yes. Well, I did some digging, and I went to the back issue bin, and I picked up Superboy #0. I recently got a box of comics from our friend Michael Zolo from Cherry Picker Comics. And it's filling in my 90s run of Superboy that I'm missing a bunch of books for. And this issue #0 is the first cameo appearance of King Shark. At the end of the book, you see his teeth. So you get that, and actually issue 9 is where you get the first appearance of King Shark.
Yeah.
Now, the next book I picked up, I've been reading, and I actually read a couple of them today and really am enjoying the story. I picked up Gargoyles #6, and all of those, I've been getting the Perillo covers, and you can see that's just a beautiful cover.
Real quick, sorry. You can go ahead and pull your other one.
All right. And the last cover, and I don't know how well this one's going to show on camera because it is a full cover, but it is my cover of the week. It is the Power Girl special, and this is a Ram V cover, and I'm hoping it shows well on the camera.
Not a Ram V.
It's not a Ram V. It's a Art Germ cover. Art Germ cover, and it is Power Girl, and that is my cover of the week. I'll lean it forward, hoping we can get the glare out of it so you can see it. But it's just a beautiful cover.
Yeah, and Art Germ does some amazing stuff. I love Art Germ's work. Art Germ does a lot for it between he and Derek Chew. Derek Chew is a really great cover artist too. But that is a great cover. I don't know if you got that off the shelf or not. But if I almost picked it up off the shelf, and I would have beat you to it if you.
Oh no, Andy had it in my bag.
I figured
he knew which one I wanted.
I figured he did. So so that's what we're going to be reading. Hey guys, leave a comment or do some, or click which one you like. Let us know what you would like for us to talk about next week, or the books we picked up. I'm going to be reading mine this week. Actually, I do a lot of reading when we're traveling, and this weekend we're going to be traveling to Cove City, North Carolina, which is right down the road from us. I think it's only like 20 minutes away. But Kirkman's Farm is having a family fun day at Kirkman Farms on Saturday from 9 to 2. And I think this morning, I ate dinner before I came, and it's starting to come back at me. But anyway, they are doing a family fun day, and I think I saw this morning they have like 40 vendors are going to be there. Yes. A lot of craft vendors, a lot of other vendors. We're going to be kind of unique. We'll be there with our comics and our pop figures and other things like that. And I know our good friend Donnie Young's going to be there. He carries like Hot Wheels and pop figures and things like that too. So come on and see us there. It'll be this Saturday. What is Saturday? July the 3rd? June the 3rd. I'm jumping a whole month forward. July 3rd, we'll be on vacation. Yes. June 3rd at Kirkman Farm. Look it up. It's called Family Fun Day.
Summer Fun Day.
Summer Fun Day.
Saturday 9 to 2.
Saturday 9 to 2. The weather keeps looking better and better all the time. We're going to be out there. We're going to try out our canopy for the first time. We got a canopy, and we'll have 2 tables, and I'll have my rack out there full of comics. So come buy some so we don't have to load so much back up in the car. And then next Saturday on June the 10th, we will be at Ogden YMCA Basketball Center in Wilmington, North Carolina for the Port City Comic Con put on by our friend Mark Watkins. I know he's got tons of guests lined up. I know our good friend Rob Potsy Potchak from Keen Spot will be there. We'll have a good time hanging out with him. We got
Wilson Lee from CNS Comics is going to be there. Wilson is the man, the myth, the legend. Great guy, writes great books. We need to talk about his book on here one night, Chris.
Absolutely. He writes there's a great book called Talasha and the Stars. I think we actually have done a video about that. Look back and check it out. Great book, great guy. We enjoy talking to him, hanging out with him. He knows his comics, and just a really great guy. I believe our friend Brassy Jones is going to be there with Indomitable Comics. He's writing the Black Assassin comic. Great comic. Really good read. I've read both of them. They are so good. Just a great book. Our good friend Thwip Comics is going to be there. He has tons of great comics. And one of the cool things he does is he has these grab bags that you can buy. And they either have a Spider-Man or a Batman sticker on them. So you're guaranteed at least one Batman book or one Spider-Man book in each one. And you usually get some really cool comics out of that. And it's a lot of fun to just open up and see what's in there.
Yeah, if you go back to our early videos, Chris, you did a video on unboxing a couple of his whip packs.
Actually, I did because the first time I met him was at a Kinston show. Yep. So yeah, that was really good. So yeah, that's what we got. We got a lot going on. As a matter of fact, when we get done up here, we're going to be doing an interview with Unplugged Games, I believe is
Yes.
this Unplugged Games, and they are doing a show in Greenville, North Carolina, on June 25th. We will be a part of that as well. A lot of card shops, game shops, uh, trading
Yep.
cards, game uh, deck builder games. They're going to be there. It's going to be a big show on the 25th. It's from, I believe, from 10 to 5 that
Yeah.
day. We'll be there, and so that's going to be a lot of fun too.
And our local game shop that just opened about a month or two ago, the Casual Nerd here in New Bern, will be there. And if you get a chance, swing by. They're on MLK Boulevard over by the food line. I'm in there just about every Thursday night from 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 playing board games, guys. Come check it out. Come play some board games with us.
Yeah, and if you like doing like Magic or Dungeons and Dragons, they do all of that too. So check them out. Go follow them on social media. It's the Casual Nerd. And if you wonder what the shop looks like, if you'll look back, and maybe we'll throw a link up to that video here, so you can go see the
Yes.
video, and we will. You can check out the shop and see what it looks like. And I think that's about all we've got for this week. We look forward to doing this every week. We'll let you know. We'll update you on where we're going to be. I know we've got some more cons coming up later on this summer. Some more collectible
Yeah.
shows. I know we've got at least 2 more of those coming up. So we got a lot to
Yeah.
do and a lot to talk about.
And leave us some comments. If you saw something we picked up this week you want us to talk about next week, leave it in the comments. Let us know. Or if there's something else that you've heard about and you want to know more about it, leave us a comment. And if we're reading that, we might not be reading it, we might go find it and talk about it next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is all we got. Until the next time, we will see you at the shop.